What's up, y'all? Game of Life with your boy Abe. First episode. We are a little bit behind you guys, but I'm gonna try to do these on Sunday nights so that I can get quick takes out. And Sunday nights or Monday nights, preferably one of the two. I kind of want to do it when football season, like the football week, is over. But yeah. So without further ado, let's get into me and my day. My day has been decent. It's been whatever so far. Nothing great. Nothing bad. A lot of schoolwork. I'm going to Spokane this Saturday to go to see my friend Dylan McCain in his football game at Whitworth University at 1 p.m. when they take on George Fox, and a lot of schoolwork. You can see from the bags underneath my eyes that it's been it's been a long day, y'all. It's been a long day. Without further ado, let's get into the Seahawks game. First, I want to complain about what's his name. I want to complain about the Seattle Seahawks defense and what I saw them do and what really annoyed me and irked me about the game. So stay with me while we have some technical difficulties real quick while I get this up. 1 second. Ooh, why is it not showing? Okay, 1 second, you guys. I apologize. Yeah, no. So the Seahawks game, it was interesting, right? Because I do feel like we shouldn't have lost, but I do understand why we lost. It seemed like our defense just forgot how to tackle, and you can't afford to lose games like that, especially when you're not locked in all the way on offense. Offense took a couple series to be able to get going, and it showed obviously, right? So we saw issues with our running game. We saw issues with our offense. Some beginning of the offensive game, Kenneth Walker had 8.6 yards a carry, but we only ran the ball 10 times. That doesn't make sense to me, right? I know our offense was explosive. I know Sam Darnold threw for 341 yards and 4 touchdowns and had the one costly interception, but it was a good game offensively. I just would like to see a couple different things. AJ Barner is looking like a top 10 tight end. I hope we keep getting him involved. Technically, defense, we just had a lot of guys. It's a loss that I'm okay with since we had a lot of injuries. Like if we didn't have a lot of injuries, then I'd kind of be like, what the heck are we doing, But since we did have those injuries, I'm a little bit more lenient with what happened. Now, if the roles were reversed, obviously, I have a different opinion, but they're not. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get into this game. Sorry, y'all. I'm the editor. I'm everything for you guys. I'm sorry. We're gonna look at just Emeka Ibuka, who decided to.
And Mayfield.
Wow, that was loud. First play. I'm not upset about that, right? I'm not upset about this. This is where I get a little upset.
And a 12 with time.
This is where I get a little bit upset. I don't know why the thing keeps going on. This is where I get a little bit upset. Why is there 2 guys right here? Let's look at this. There's 2 guys right here. Pause it. 1 and 2. Why? So I understand Kobe Bryant from what it looks like, y'all. I don't know the defense. I'm not Mike McDonald. I don't know what he's trying to do. But why does it look like Kobe Bryant is choosing to go? He's late, obviously, right? And then there's just so many people open. I can't even choose what this defense is. I don't know if it's just misexecuted or what. But it looks like him right here in the slot. Baker threw a dot. If he threw a bullet, he could probably fit it in there. This guy's coming kind of open. I know this guy's right here, maybe lurking. He looks like a lot of momentum is going to come this way. That's not Ernest Jones. That's probably Tyrese Knight. And then we have Job, I think, and Okuda maybe. But just look, great throw by Baker. Great play as well. And then boom, right. Oh shoot, sorry about that. But he threads the needle and he's able to just get it all the way in there with no issue. It seemed like let's get that 1080p quality. I don't know why I was on that, but bam, just right there. And that's like with some cushion too. That's with some cushion. Makes no sense. Right here. This is the touchdown, I believe. So McDonald came out, I think, yesterday and said that it was a lot of other people's faults, not just Pritchett, even though that's who it looks like its fault it is. But I still blame Pritchett. Because if he's right, go back 5 seconds, right, boom, ball's in the air. It looks like he turns his head back. Give a little accelerated boost. And just jump. I know I'm not in the NFL. I know I'm not him. But that's what I would do personally. And it probably would have worked. It's just an unfortunate thing. Even deflecting it maybe, You know, look at Okuda. Okuda's trying to be upset like a lot of the plays that happened in this game were not his fault. Let's look at this next one. All right, we don't need to see the replay that much, y'all. Oh, just another. Let's look at this one, bro. I forgot he fried us like this. Now look at this one. Tai Okuda, after you were just complaining, you get beat like that on an out route. It makes no fucking sense. No fucking sense. Baker, play action. Their run game was ineffective. Let's see which linebackers bit on this play action. Their run game was ineffective with Rashad White. Bucky Irving's out. They had. Let's look. Misstep. I want y'all to really pay attention. I'm going to show y'all my mouse. Pay attention to my mouse right here. Pay attention. Boom. Right there. 2 steps forward. Step forward. Barely a step. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Wide fucking open. I guarantee he's wide open. Wide open. And that little, obviously I don't know the defense. I'm going to say it again. But that little 2 missteps by Ernest Jones, who got rated, I think it was a 28.2 by PFF, which I know is not the bread and butter of everything. But he got rated that. And you can see why. Okay. Okay. See, good catch. Kind of a mid throw by Baker, but, you know, you never know what the QB's seeing. Deep ball. Josh Jobe. Josh Jobe, anything you want to say? Anything you want to say? Anything you want to say? I was on your boat to, you know, ship out Woolen, make you corner 2 next to Witherspoon. Wide open. Kobe Bryant's there late. Tai Okuda's on the fucking ground shaking ass, bro. Just fucking pathetic, man. Look at this. Wide open again. Let's look at this route. Sorry, I keep skipping. This is a fucking basic corner, man. And who's that? Ernest Jones, ball watching, man. Just ball watching. What's this one? A fucking screen that should have been a 2-yard gain turns up almost being a first down. And that was all of his catches. This is what I'm talking about. There's just mistakes like that we made that are just unreasonable. Mistakes that we just shouldn't be making. That we didn't see this defense make. But I'm going to blame it on the injuries. I'm going to say injuries were a reason for it. But yeah, it's an unfortunate loss because it's one of those losses where you understand why you lost, but you still had the chance to win and you fucking didn't, man. It's you hate losses like that. My teeth looking white. Yeah, you hate losses like that though. Next, let's get into potential trades for the Seattle Seahawks. Here we go. So first up, we got edge players. Oh no, sorry, my bad. We got edge players. So as you see, we have Will McDonald from the Jets. I know you guys are thinking Jets. I don't want no Jets players. He's a guy who, you know, that we don't need to give up too much for. You give up a 4th round pick at most. You get him, just gives you extra depth. We saw with Derek Hall out, we just couldn't generate really pressure. Without DeMarcus Lawrence as well, which he could miss even more weeks. Same with Derek Hall. We're going to need some extra guys. You know, Leonard Williams and Byron Murphy cannot be our entire pass rush. You know, Boye Mafe has regressed. He's in a contract year and he hasn't looked like he wants money. So I don't know. Kayvon Thibodeau. So this one, a 1st round pick is what I would give up if they didn't want to take Boye Mafe. And if they didn't want to take Boye Mafe in a 3rd at most. And that's most, man. That's an absolute most. Although Thibodeau's stats don't really line up. Like let's look at Thibodeau's. I'm gonna butcher his name. Oh, thank God it already popped up. Let's look at his stats, right? He has 2 sacks and 9 tackles, right? So he doesn't have that great of stats this year. Career, 40 games, 23 sacks that he's recorded in his career. But he's a guy. You know, I mean, tackle for losses. He has 4 tackle for losses this year. He's a guy who can give us pressure, but he does kind of break the bank. So that's like your like second golden guy. Obviously, you see Trey Hendrickson here as well. Bradley Chubb. Bradley Chubb is a guy who we all have heard of, right? We remember his years with Von Miller next to him in Denver. But Bradley Chubb, he's on the Dolphins. The Dolphins are not going anywhere. And he's a guy who, you know, you bring in like a DeMarcus Lawrence type, 9 tackles, 4 sacks, 1 forced fumble on the year. And what I say that we should give up for him? A 3rd round pick plus a mirror. So like that's where you maybe do. I would actually probably change it. Actually, I don't know what I was thinking. I made this while I was in class. But I'd probably do maybe even a 4th plus Mafe maybe. plus Boye Mafe, and that's like being generous. That's being generous. Let me know what y'all think about that on this week's Q&A. Carl Granderson. Can I be honest? I saw some dude online say that we should trade for him. I'm not gonna lie to you, but judging from the fact I said he's a 5th rounder, I'm pretty sure I looked at his stats. As I told you guys, we're a little bit behind, so I did most of this research a while ago. But let's look at his stats. So 25, 4 tackles, 19. Yeah, he's not bad. The Saints aren't going nowhere though. So we're into that later. So I'm not sure that they really need him. Maybe a 5th rounder, 4th at most. He's on the younger side. No, what's his age? 28 years old, and he's black. So okay, so actually, might give up a first. Trey Hendrickson. See, my issue, right? Trey Hendrickson is a last result. So if Derek Hall and DeMarcus Lawrence were going to be out for the season, that's when I'd be okay with getting Trey Hendrickson. I just don't. He's 31. He's on a big contract. He's like on, I think it's like a 1-year thing, or it's like maybe 1 or 2 years. He's not worth it. You know what I mean? Like I truly believe he's not worth it. Like over time. But but that's only if those players that I mentioned earlier can't come back. Let's look at his agent contract. I hate typing on like PC keyboards. I think it's a 1 year, $29 million if that thing was correct. Oh yeah, 1 year, $29 million. Yeah. 29 million, 97. Okay. He's going to be 32 next year. Yeah, he's not worth it. I don't think he's worth it, right? That's just a name that I could see them doing. Linebackers. Okay, Demario Davis. At most, 5th or 6th round pick. I don't know if you've noticed, but we have an issue, right? Ernest Jones has played like a Pro Bowl level linebacker aside from this last game versus the Buccaneers. But, Tyrese Knight last year was good. I don't know what's happening this year. The white dude, Hunter, whatever his name is, he's not good. Demario Davis can be a, maybe 1 year rental guy. He's 30. He's an old guy, right? But I still think he has a little juice. A name that I really like is Jordan Brooks. Yes, he sounds familiar because he was our linebacker. But we had to make a decision between a couple players a couple years ago, and we did not re-sign him. He's part of when we let him go, and we signed Jerome Baker and we signed Tyrod Dodson, who we then cut mid-season and traded for Ernest Jones the 5th. I don't know what the fuck IV means. Yeah, I think he'd be a good pick. 5th round pick, maybe a 4th round pick if the Dolphins really want that much. He's leading the league in tackles. He's a tackle machine. He's a good player, and I'd like to see him. So O-line, our O-line's not as big of an issue as people make it seem like, I feel like, but we do have an issue, mid-issue at center. I don't think it's like that big of a deal, but at right guard, Anthony Bradford. Anthony Bradford has been horrible. If you don't know who Anthony Bradford is, let's look at his lowlights on TikTok. Anthony Bradford is horrible. Anthony Bradford is actually horrible. Let's see if he's if he's not the first clip on here. I'm not. Yeah, let's watch him. Anthony Bradford's right here. Just watch him. Just watch him. Yep, they're just watch him. Look, just misses. Look at him again. 1, 2, blocking nobody, and then tries to help, and he's late, and he fucking takes out another person's ACL. Look at him right here. He's okay to the right. It's a right zone. Doesn't block backside. Someone just gets wide open. Look, Zabel probably fucked up too, but I like Zabel, so we're not gonna give him too much flack. Here we go, right here. He's late off that. He's late. He's pulling and he's late, and he dives head first and he misses. One more. We'll look at one more. He's double teaming. Okay. Now, one of these two should be climbing to the linebacker. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's a pass. Never mind. Not climbing. But just look at him. Just gets swam right over. And then his guy's almost there to recover the fumble. Last one. Right here. Dives. On his knees like a little girl. And Zach Charbonnet gets tackled. So it's safe to say that we need a replacement. These are 5 guys. Sorry, I'm blind. That I feel like, you probably see some similar names. Not similar, but like heard of names. Wyatt Taylor, Joe Patino. I don't think I'll do a 3rd round pick or a 2nd round pick for these 2 guys. I don't know why I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I see some of this online, all right, but I'd probably give some later things. And if I do a young old lineman, it'd be Anthony Bradford. If the Browns already have Ethan Posick, they can take Anthony Bradford as well. Yeah, those would be the guys. The defensive backs, we saw a lapse. I still think Tariq Woolen has issues. And I think, we got to trade for. You probably heard Taron Johnson, remember the playoff pick he had on Lamar Jackson. In an ideal world, this is what I'd want our defense to look like, right? When healthy, These would be our starters. Hall. This is on the D line. Williams, Murphy. I think you gotta. Yeah, you probably start Mafe. Then at backups, you have Nwosu and Lawrence. I'm not gonna go too much in depth on the other people. Linebackers, it'd be Ernest. I'm just gonna Ernest and Knights. So that's 6 players right there. I want 5 players in the secondary. Backups, yeah, I'm just gonna put Brooks. I'd want Brooks, but secondary, I'd want Idlewild to be Woolen. It'd be Witherspoon in the slot. It'd be Nick. It'd be Love. And I mean, I don't mind having Kobe Bryant, but if we can get Ward, that would be a great secondary. That's best secondary in the NFL. Best secondary in the NFL, hands down. That would be the best secondary in the NFL, hands down. Give a second-round pick, give up Rick Woolen, or give up Kobe Bryant, actually, thinking about it. Give up Kobe Bryant, because when Woolen's having one of them shitty games, just fucking put Ward on whoever the hell he's guarding. A 6th-round pick swap. Taron Johnson, a little bit less expensive because they're not giving him the player. Taron Johnson, put him in the slot, put Witherspoon on the outside, and then, yeah, let them play. Nick Nwari, he looked pretty good, and, yeah, that's what I would do. That's my potential trade targets. I know a couple people asked me about that in the Q&A, so I figured I'd answer that, It's getting a little dark outside. Sorry about the lighting. The lighting's getting a little worse. Let me open my laptop. Go to Google Docs, and let's put my brightness up all the way. See, this is what you gotta do when you're a little ghetto. You're a little ghetto, you gotta put it up like that. Sorry, I got a text message. All right, let's look at what's next on the agenda. This is a working podcast, you guys. Some of y'all might think I'm not suited and booted, but I'm suited and I'm booted. So, sorry, that's probably loud. So, get that shit right. Let's look at my next week predictions. I actually have written an article about it, but it's not published yet, from the Daily Evergreen, which I will show you guys how to look at that. I know some people text me asking me how they can see my articles. I'm going to show you guys how to do it. I have my little, see if that focuses. See if that focuses at all. I have my art on my picks where I write about teams. I did with my boy Connor Orr. 49ers Rams. I got Rams 28-24. Oh, that's last week's. Sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm not cutting that out either. All right, this is raw. This is a raw podcast. Raw thing. Giants Eagles tomorrow night. I got the Eagles 24-13. We got Broncos beating the Jets. I got that being a 34-20 win. The Seattle Seahawks versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now this game I am going to read my description and kind of what I said. I said after the Jaguars win over the Chiefs on Monday Night Football, this game has all the fixings to be the game of the week. Seattle's coming off a loss to the Buccaneers, and some holes were seen with injuries in the secondary to Julian Love, Devon Witherspoon, and Tariq Woolen. So I got to edit that. I said secondaries, but I added some D linemen. Derek Hall, DeMarcus Lawrence, and at times Nick Nwari. He said his ankle got a little fatigued, and he got to work on it. Head coach Mike Macdonald says they won't know until later if all will be available for this week. The Seahawks offense was rolling against the Buccaneers, scoring 35 points, and star running back Kenneth Walker III averaged 8.6 yards a carry on 10 carries. Sam Darnold was also playing like an MVP candidate with 341 passing yards, 4 touchdowns. Offensive coordinator and Darnold did a great job. Clint Kubiak. Sometimes it's good reading these back. And Darnold did a great job spreading the ball around 8 different players that touched the ball. when the offense has been at its best, which we saw against the Steelers and we saw yesterday against the Bucks, that's when the offense has looked the best. Cooper Kupp, Jackson Smith-Njigba, and Torrey Holden are all involved. The games that Cooper Kupp is involved, our offense actually looks real flowy and it's hitting all the marks and it's doing pretty well. They will need to have the same thing this week if they want to be able to be efficient and consistent. For the Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence had his best game throwing of the season. Threw for over 220 yards and added 54 rushing yards along with 3 touchdowns. 2 come from rushing, 1 coming from pass. Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter played like an elite duo for the first time all season. Although they didn't both have over 100 yards receiving, they both found ways to get open, both found ways to make great catches. We saw Travis Hunter go up over 2 guys and make a crazy catch that a Heisman makes because he rightfully won it over Ashton Jeanty. But yeah, with the backing up secondary for the Seahawks, we could see see more of that in the game. It will be instrumental for the Jags to get running back Travis Etienne Jr. involved. He only had 12 carries for 49 yards versus the Chiefs. The Seattle Seahawks do have a top 3 run defense, only giving up a little bit less than 80 yards a game. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes, especially with the injuries to Derek Hall and DeMarcus Lawrence, and the linebacker play going down last week. Seattle's defense is elite, even with injuries to some key players, ranking 2nd in points per game allowed, 9th in total yards, and 3rd in rushing defense, allowing less than 80 a game. That's what I said. Sorry. The Jaguars' defense is mediocre statistically. Aside from the turnovers force, they lead the NFL with 13 through 5 games. Seattle cannot let them win the turnover battle. So that'll be important for Sam Darnold not to turn it over. In the 2 games that our offense did look the most consistent it has all season, he did have 2 picks against Pittsburgh. One was his fault because he kind of got undercut by Jalen Ramsey on a crossing route or an out route to Cooper Kupp. And then one was on 4th down. I don't really blame him. It was a bad play call. He threw it, got tipped, picked off. That's whatever. But yeah, I have the Seahawks winning 31-23, 8-point win for the Seattle Seahawks. Chargers-Dolphins, I have us winning 27-21. I think that'll be an interesting game. I think that, I need Devin A-Chain to score a lot of points for me in fantasy. Rams versus Ravens. The Ravens are poverty, right, this season at least. Give me the Rams 41-17. Cardinals versus Colts 31-16. Cowboys versus Panthers 34-17. Interesting nugget. The Cowboys haven't won a game that their offense doesn't score 37 points in at least. Saints versus Patriots. Give me the Patriots 27-17. And then the other picks I didn't really do, but I will give my opinion on them. My co-writer Connor, he made some picks as well. Browns Steelers. I think that the Steelers are going to win. I don't know why he said Browns. I'm not going to read his thing, but he said that the Browns are going to win 22-19. I think the Steelers will win 27-14. It's actually 27-13. I don't think they're going to score 2 touchdowns. Titans Raiders. Give me the Titans. He said 24-16. I agree with that. 49ers Buccaneers. I think the Buccaneers will beat the hell out of them, 31-13. Give me the Packers versus the Bengals in a 38-17 win. Sounds right. The Lions Chiefs. I think the Chiefs. I want the Lions to win. I want the Lions to win 31-28, but I think the Chiefs will somehow win 28-24. Bills Falcons. Give me the Bills by 24-17. Bears Commanders. Give me the Commanders. Actually, give me the Bears, actually. Screw it. Give me the Bears 31-30. I like how that sounds. So, yeah, that's my week 2 predictions. Not week 2, sorry. Week 6 predictions for this week. Let me know what y'all think down below. I'm sorry for all the mess-ups, you guys. It's going to only get better. Can only go up from now, right? So, yeah, let me show you guys how to go see where my articles are on the Daily Evergreen. Why is this thing so high? What the heck? What is this thing doing? Bro, what? Sorry, you guys. Having some issues. There we go, finally. Whew. Sorry about that. Alright, let me show you guys how to go see where my articles are. So you go to Daily Evergreen. Right here. Holy shit, this Wi-Fi is slow at Aspen Heights, y'all. Got that slow Wi-Fi, dude. Holy smokes. And I'm not cutting this out either, alright? This is all raw. Hope your guys' day's going well so far. Hope y'all have had some good times. Nothing bad. I don't know why I looked it up twice. Come on. Let's get a little quickness going. Bro, I got 1 gigabyte Wi-Fi. Holy hell. Holy hell. Holy. Bust down Rolly Avalanche. Oh, shit. Sorry. Don't look at that. Migrant GED program. Cut a step in the right direction. College football adopts a single transfer portal. Sorry. I don't really look at the website that much, but let's look at what I got. Pro Cougs in the NFL. WSU alum in the NFL. This is an article written by ya boy. Where's another article I got? Abe Daniel. So you just click my name after looking up Daily Evergreen. And then here you go. We got all my recent articles. If you want to see some of my other articles, they would be right here under my government name. My gov on the 314. And they're all right here. There y'all go. So let's get into these Google form questions that y'all had. I appreciate all the questions you guys gave me. Politics. So I probably only talk about politics when it's important. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. How big is it? It is 3 inches times 2 inches plus half an inch minus half an inch minus about 6 inches. Are the Dodgers going to go back to... Yeah, I actually picked them to win. I don't know a single lick about baseball. Fun fact. But I did pick them to win the World Series because they have an Asian guy named Shohei Ohtani. Why did the USA lose the Ryder Cup? Is that the golf thing? We lost because we didn't come locked in classic American fashion. Sorry, I have a brand deal with Sprite, y'all, so I got to plug in. Sorry. And I yell. What can I say? But in American fashion, we didn't come to play and we underestimated our opponents and we lost. It's a bigger upset than 3-1 that the Warriors gave up to LeBron in 2016. Why did you leave me on open? Kennedy, I already told you. All right, I already replied to you. I apologize. Are the Dodgers going to go back-to-back in the World Series? Yes. What's a sports hot take that you have that would definitely start an argument at a party? Good question. A sports take that I have that would definitely start an argument at a party. I don't think it'll start an argument, to be honest, but I think that NFL should be year round. I'm not gonna lie. I think there should be it's hard to actually say. I don't know. I don't truly think that, but I would love if there was football all year round, like NFL football, not like CFL, XFL, and that stuff. An argument that would definitely start an argument. I mean, I think the Legion of Boom is the greatest defense of all time. Maybe I guess that's like my hottest take. I'm not really a hot take type of guy, unless I'm like in an argument with someone. I'll just think of one. Favorite football moment all time. NFL would be Richard Sherman's tip on Colin Kaepernick that took us to the Super Bowl. And college would be, I don't know, the Apple Cup was pretty cool. It's a personal moment, not a football moment, but the Apple Cup this year, I went and I met an NFL scout, and he gave me his card, and yeah, it was really cool. And we talked, networked, and big things coming for your boy, inshallah. High school would be, actually playing wise, it's tough. We lost a lot in high school. Favorite moment would probably be my freshman year. I had 3 pancake blocks and I had 3 sacks in the game, and that was probably the highlight. And then Ferris High School obviously doesn't know what the fuck they're doing because they took me off defense my sophomore year in UPSO. I played defensive line and O-line both ways from 3rd grade to 9th grade. And then Ferris, thinking they know shit, decided to take me out of it. Sorry. Talk about PNWCC. I was offered to play college football in 5 places. That's one. I was also offered in Kennewick. I was offered one in Miami. I was offered one in California, and I was offered one in the Midwest, and also the University of Montana, or whatever that one that all the Spokane guys go to. But I decided not to go because Ultimately, I knew I wasn't going to the NFL, so I decided to go to a school that was going to be free and that I could just do something I want to do, which is this sports media. You know, it has the best sports media department in all of Washington, by far. Motivation to be a journalist. Honestly, man, it's like people think that just because you're a communications major, you're settling not to make a whole lot of money, but there's money to be made, especially in what I want to be. You know, there's obviously some positions where like you're like the camera person and this and that, where like you might not make as much, but as an honored talent, I truly believe that I have what it takes to be not the next Stephen A. Smith, but the next Abe Daniel, the next Ibrahim Daniel. You know what I mean? Where I carve my own way and I can retire my mom, retire my family, pay for my nieces to go to college in the future, and my own kids and everything. Like I truly believe I have the talent to be able to do that one day. Obviously, it's step by step. Can I do that right now? Probably not. But I do believe that I have what it takes in the dedication. Most overhyped player in the NFL slash NBA. The most overhyped player in the NBA, NFL slash NBA. And the NFL, the most overhyped player is probably T. Higgins, bro. T. Higgins is fucking overrated, dog. Niggas say he's starting like half the NFL teams as their wide receiver one. That's so false, bro. I truly don't believe that. In the NBA, it is. In the NBA, it is. That's a good fucking question. In the NBA, it's Ja Morant, man. Like if we're gonna go like star players, bro, I don't think Ja Morant's like he's a high flyer, he can get to the lane, but if you sat there and let him just play sag defense and made him shoot jumpers, he'd be inefficient. And yeah, so I think he's probably the most overrated. I like Ja, but that's who I'd pick for star players. Early predictions: who winning it all NBA season? I want to say the Golden State Warriors as a Steph Curry fan, but I think the Mavericks are a dark horse. But I think the Nuggets are probably gonna win it, or the fucking Thunder might repeat. Fuck it. Seahawks talk. I kind of got into that earlier, Dylan. Invite Dylan McCann on. I'm definitely gonna invite my boy Dylan McCann on. One of the realest people you ever meet in your lives. He's truly a great guy, and that's my boy, man. That's my boy. What's your hottest NFL? I kind of already said that earlier. I appreciate the question though. Keep sending yours in. If that was yours, please keep sending them in. I appreciate it. But yeah, is Drake better than? Yes, Drake is better than Kendrick. What are we talking about? Drake is. Let me show you on my Spotify. I don't think you understand how much I really rock with Mr. Drake, yo. A lot of that is Drake, yo. Let me go to my playlist. I don't think you understand the amount of Drake. Is this the skip thing? This is one of the best songs too. I like to climb to the top of the pole, make it sliding down. I make it rain in this bitch. I make it snow in this bitch. Shotty get out of the mix. Shotty is going legit. Yeah, we recording this shit. This is a story. Come on. I got a lot of Drake, y'all. I'm a big Drake guy. Very big Drake, Aubrey Drake Graham guy. What's another question? How has jumping to conclusions when it comes to public affected people's perception of you without knowing where you are from? I don't know if you're asking how people have jumped to conclusions about me, but if that, I'm assuming that's what you're saying. I post a lot of left-leaning stuff. I'm not left-leaning. I mean, I'm probably more of a Democrat than I am a Republican, but I believe myself to be truly moderate. There's stuff I like that Trump does, there's stuff I don't like. I agree that we have an illegal immigrant problem, but I don't think the way he's going about it is the correct way. I think asylum seeking needs to get fixed. I feel like it shouldn't take as long as it does. I feel like illegal immigrants do a lot of the hard labor jobs in farms and stuff like that not true Americans, but that Americans don't want to do. I don't know how I can count on my hands how many people I know in my life that would go work on farms from sunrise to sunset for less than minimum wage in the heat. I truly don't know 10 people. I might not even know 5 people that I truly would. And if I did, guess what? They'd be immigrants. Illegal, legal, whatever. They'd be immigrants. That's all I fucking know. So yeah, that's really what it is. People just say what they want to say. They got upset about the Charlie Kirk shit, but whatever. You ever let a girl eat your ass? No, but they have licked my gooch before. That's not gay, unless you like it. Has NIL in college got out of hand? I think this is a good no for that call for this question. Actually, I do have a college hot take. I don't care about NIL. I don't care enough about college football, and I don't go to a big enough school to care if teams have a bunch of NIL money. Like, I don't care that Oregon has a blank check from Phil Knight. I don't care that OSU has a blank check. I don't care that Stanford just got $50 million from some alum in 1964. I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's whatever to me. I just want to see good football. Like, college football to me is just about good football. I really don't care. Like, Alabama, I don't care. I don't care about Georgia. I don't care who spends all their money on NIL. I'm not going to lie. But yes, it has gotten out of hand. I just don't care. You know what I mean? Should Tariq Woolen be traded? I answered that yesterday, and I showed the packages earlier. I said that earlier, sorry, not yesterday. How does Seattle become legit contenders? They make a trade for another edge and a linebacker, and probably a right guard, or they promote Phil Haynes, and that's what I feel like. They have a lot of stuff they already need in house. I'm not gonna lie. Will AJ Brown situation with the Eagles get better? It should. It really isn't hard to be an offensive coordinator for Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, a top 5 line, top 3 line, really, Devontae Smith, and Jalen Hurts. It's not as hard as they make it seem, so it kind of makes no sense to me. Ass or tits? Ass. If you like tits, you're a little weird over ass. I'm not going to lie. Best football player ever is Tom Brady. Best football player on the Seattle Seahawks right now is either Devon Witherspoon or it is Jackson Smith and Jigba. My favorite player all time is Richard Sherman. Should I go for the Lions, Chargers? Those are all good teams to root for. Definitely go for the Seahawks. I don't know. Slit them. If you could have any historical figure, I feel like it's obvious. People say like Hitler. People say like Joseph Stalin. People say people like that. Genghis Khan. I think I'd pick MLK and Malcolm X, or like one of the two. And I want to know what they think about today's current climate. Right? You see a white girl with like a black dude online, and people say single mother unloading, this and that. And you know, Martin Luther King was a big. I want to see like a black hand, a white hand. Interlope. I want to see everyone be together. And people say, I'm okay, you liked white women, this and that, yada, this, yada, whatever. Like, I don't think that was a big deal, but yeah. Favorite sports moment, Richard Sherman. Swipe. An NFC Championship game that took us to the Super Bowl where we dominated the Denver Broncos, the number 1 offense ever, 43-8. Childhood. I'm not going to get to my childhood on this one. My next episode, if you comment again, I will, though. Gay son or thought daughter, give me a gay son. As long as he's not too flamboyant. I had a friend named Bryant who used to say, either way, I'm going to get some head whenever talking about a gay son or a thought daughter. Why do you like Drake more than Kendrick Lamar? I like the way you put that, right? A lot of people think I hate Kendrick Lamar, and sometimes I do troll and, you know, say I make him seem like I hate him. I don't hate Kendrick Lamar, right? I think he makes good music. I think he makes woke music, and I think he makes music for a certain demographic that I am a part of. I just don't consume it as much because I'm a big guy who likes... I like lyricism, but I also don't want to think about your lyrics hella. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to, like, when I'm listening, I don't want to be like, oh, he just said this, but he also relates to that. You know, 3 albums ago, he said this, which relates to that, which relates to this. Oh, my God. And then this person did this yesterday. Oh, my God. I don't really care for, like, you know what I mean? I don't care about that. Say I'm, like, dumb for that or whatever. I don't care for that. Drake makes replayable music. He makes music that I can relate to. I like money. I like women. I want to live lavish, and I get heartbroken sometimes, and I'm in my emotions sometimes. He makes music like that, so that's why he's my favorite. It's really as simple as that. Not coming at you at all. How can the Bengals bounce back and maybe not trade for Joe Flacco, which they did, so they're cooked. What do you think of our current immigration policy? Talking about asylum earlier, I feel like that's got to get fixed. With immigration specifically, I do think we have a lot of people coming in. I also don't think there's a problem with so like people say I think it's like 2030 or whatever, white people will not be the minority race anymore in America, but they still will be, because although there'll be, let's say there was 60% other races compared to white people, that 40% is still larger than any other ethnic percent. So therefore, they're still the major, like they're, you know what I mean? They're not in the minority. They're still the major one because there's still more of them than anybody else. I feel like people kind of overreact about shit like that. This is my friend Elijah. Elijah, hope you're doing good in the Bay, man. Hope everything's going good with you, dog. Big shouts out to you. No, all right. That's fine. I appreciate you guys. Obviously, you guys have my, Instagram, have my whatever. Let me know what y'all thought. Obviously, there's stuff I need to get better. TV probably shouldn't be on. Lighting probably needs to be better. There's a lot of stuff green screen maybe. There's a lot of stuff I could do to get better. Just stay with me, y'all. I appreciate all the support. Truly, y'all are amazing. And I'm not some like big guy, but you know what I mean. Like, I appreciate all the support and I appreciate all you guys tuning in and stuff. So, without further ado, peace from your boy. Game of Life with Abe. Subscribe and comment and like and share, please.